Hi, I'm Nicole. I am one of the co-founders of Aces on the Horizon. Right now I'm in my office, and this is normally where I like to record videos, even though I haven't been really publishing too much on YouTube just yet. But I've had a lot going on. Starting a business is no easy task. There are so many moving pieces, so much involved. My partner and I, we do have two kids, and family comes first, right? Taking care of them, being parents is our top priority. But we're pursuing this passion project, Ace on the Horizon, which combines Mario's love for disc golf. And I mean, I love disc golf too, but I'm nowhere near his level of love for disc golf. And my love for wellness and being your best self and bringing out the best in your game and things like that. So I think it's a really cool collaboration, really cool business idea that we're putting together. We are working on opening a brick and mortar location in central Illinois, here in Chillicothe, where we're residents, because we really believe in the power of community. When we moved down here, we didn't know anybody. We didn't know anything about the area. All we knew was it was amazing for disc golf, and that was one of our requirements for when we bought a house. Was it's got to be near a disc golf course. So we're very blessed here in Chillicothe. We have two awesome courses. We have Shore Acres Park, which has a 18-hole disc golf course, but it has 9 baskets. So like every basket has two different tee pads for it. And then we also have a privately owned Three Sisters Park, which is an 18-hole wooded course. Very fun. I did my first tournament there earlier this year, and we've also played quite recently. But yeah, this is an amazing little town, and it is so beautiful. These parks, I mean, the nature scene here is incredible. Shore Acres, where we currently have leagues, is right on the river. You can walk down to the river. I like to go down there and look for rocks with the kids. Just watch bald eagles fly. They have an amazing park and baseball fields. I mean, there's just so much going on here. But the thing is, the players are amazing. Not necessarily in skill level, which we do have plenty of those, but just good people. I look forward to league nights because I know I get to hang out with these really welcoming, cool people that love disc golf, and so it's been a great way for us to engage with people, to make friends, and I think that's the value of disc golf leagues in general, to make friends and to learn from other players, and to really, a lot of really serious players love to geek out about the latest discs and the brands that they love, and different throwing techniques and things like that. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we've got those leagues going. What we're doing right now, and this is kind of a behind the scenes peek, is we are working on getting a brick and mortar location. We really want it to be here in Chillicothe because, again, it goes into one of our values of supporting the community. We know that here in the Peoria area, we have a probably the most vibrant disc golf scene in Illinois. But we don't have very many local retail options, and so that's something we started Ace on the Horizon last summer. I was like, my partner, he's struggled with his passion and his career path, and I love him so much. And when he got into disc golf several years ago, it was clear to me that that's his thing. I'm like, you need to do something with disc golf. You need to either become a pro player, which at our age may not, with kids, may not necessarily be realistic. I'm like, or you need to sell discs, right? He can tell you almost everything about every disc the MVP, Streamline, Axiom have, which is what we carry right now, but also about other brands and other lines. And he is our product expert because he knows so much. I'm learning. I know enough to be dangerous, but really when you want to get into the technicalities, Mario's your go-to person. But anyways, we started this business because I'm like, the career I was in, even though it paid really well, and it was a nice work from home job, which I was really grateful for, it was no longer a fit for us and for our life. And after we had our daughter, we were just like, how do we build a legacy? How do we get from where we are now, which was we didn't have a disc golf business in the beginning, obviously, but we have a big dream one day to have like a private course, like a disc golf ranch where people can come, we can do events, disc golf themed weddings, and corporate retreats, bonding experiences, to have an on-site store with a course, with campers. Like, that's a huge vision and a huge investment. So that's not something we could just jump into right now, especially having kids at a young age. But what we can do and what we decided to start with first is a retail space. But we don't just want to be a disc retail space. We want to be something else. We want to foster, again, community, connection, well-being. Because the thing is disc golf is so good for mental and physical health. It's what I consider a low impact sport. Getting out in nature is really good for lowering stress, and chucking a disc, throwing something is also good for managing stress. You can get some anger out. I mean, of course, it can be frustrating, if you hit a tree or something, disc golf can really tick some people off. But really, it should be about fun for the most part. And again, about community, about getting out into nature, reducing stress. And it's sad that, here in Illinois, we have winter and we can't do it year round. And so I'm like, man, there really needs to be some way that we could get indoor disc golf going in some way, whether that's a putting league or a tech simulator, right? I had all these ideas flowing, and then I'm like, let's do both. And a disc simulator setup, as well as an indoor putting green. But I also, when I left my job to pursue this full time, because I was unhappy. I was truly unhappy. The company wasn't the right fit for me, but no bad words about the company. It's an amazing company. They're going to go so far. But for me, I was just like, but I want to help people, and I'm not a disc golf nerd. What am I passionate about? My biggest passion is self-improvement, and so I'm getting my health and life coaching certifications, and they're general health and life coaching certifications right now, but I hope eventually to get certifications on how to improve your game, how to improve your mindset. I already have some tools and techniques I can help clients with, come this summer once I am certified. But yeah, I'm sorry for a lot of ums. I'm a little nervous because, again, I haven't put too many things on YouTube, and I do worry. I think most people worry when you start a business, because it's a huge risk. It is so scary to take this leap of faith that I've taken with the universe, my higher power, to trust it and know that this is going to work out. And that's very much what I'm doing. And since I did that, since I leaned into having faith in my higher power and Jesus take the wheel kind of moment, I was I give up. I'm I'm on the wrong path, redirect me. And I wanted Aces on the Horizon to be a part of that. Things have just been lining up, synchronicity after synchronicity, opportunity, meeting the right people at the right time. It's super incredible, but starting a business, being an entrepreneur is so scary. This isn't my first go around with being an entrepreneur. I did start what I consider a successful business several years ago, but ultimately I was hired on by my clients. So then I was working for someone again, which is not what I wanted for my life. But I did that for several years, and then I was like, I really want to be an entrepreneur again. I really want to have my own retail space. I really want to make something that's my own. I'm super creative and passionate, and I'm like, what can I channel this energy into? And Aces on the Horizon is where it's at for me. But it is really scary, and it's what if people don't like our concept? What if people don't like us? You know what I mean? I'm worried about every potential misstep we could take. But again, that fear, and I'll do blogs and videos in the future on fear as a coach. But it's a after fear and learning health coaching and life coaching, that fear is excitement on pause, right? I got so excited. I have this amazing business idea and I know I can make it happen. But then fear creeps in. What if this goes wrong? What if it doesn't happen the way you're thinking, and all this stuff? So I've been working on that, but I knew I just keep getting these intuitions about the next right step for me. And it's so cool to see how things just naturally evolve and unfold. But I knew, I'm you know what? I think people really love behind the scenes, starting a business, mistakes that we've made, things that have gone well, things like that. But I had to deal with over the last few months the fear of being seen. because putting yourself out there on the internet, you open yourself up to so much judgment. And, cancel culture being so big as it is, it's like, well, I don't want to be canceled before I even get started, which, there's really no reason, I think, for that to happen. We're not going to resonate with everybody, but I think that we're going to have something to offer a lot of people, and not just disc golfers. Because the other thing is, we're in a small town, Chillicothe. It is just north of Peoria. And so it's great that so many people from the area can come up to us, and hopefully our friends and, their friends from the Chicago area where we're originally from can come down and experience this, because it's going to be something totally different. It's going to be, it's really innovative, and I think people can really benefit from the services that we'll offer as far as the natural health and wellness events and coaching and whatnot, in addition to disc golf. And the other thing too is there's not a necessarily like a health and wellness store that carries crystals, essential oils, Reiki tools. Really close to us. That stuff exists at different places. I'm like, I really want a central location for, I guess, all of our favorite things, and they blend really well together. And eventually want to have like a little in-store cafe, so that like when people come to do the indoor throwing or come to shop, it's really an experience and a place to go, especially in those cold months when you can't get out to the course. So yeah, I'm rambling. I didn't have a necessarily template or a plan for this video. I was like, I just got to talk. I got to get it out there. I want to get this up on YouTube. I'll probably share on other social media platforms. But we're super excited. I do hope to be doing more of these behind the scenes kind of videos, and I really appreciate all the support that we've gotten so far from this community. All the people that we've met who've been like, yeah, talk to this person, talk to that person, hey, come to this, do this with us. It's been so cool. But I also, because I'm so passionate and excited, I tend to, I'm vibing high, and so I talk a lot, and I'm smiley, and I'm very friendly. So I hope that doesn't turn anybody off. I think if you were in my position and you saw your dreams start coming to life, you'd be really excited too, and passionate. And I think that the excitement and the passion I've got to maintain in order to fuel hopefully our long-term success and offset the issues that are going to happen, right? Because with a startup business, it's really stressful, and I'm determined to do everything I can to make this a success, not only for my family, but for our community. And I hope that people will support, watch us grow, cheer us on. There's many ways beyond buying from us or spending money with us that you can support us and help us grow. So if you see our posts, we appreciate you liking them. Follow us on our different social medias, share our stuff, give us honest feedback, but please be kind, because to be honest, I'm sensitive. I can get super critical on myself, and I don't like mean people, but there's definitely a way to give constructive feedback without being mean, and you can be honest. I can take it. I can take feedback. Even if it is mean, I will deal with disgruntled customers, I'm sure, at some point. I've managed teams. I've worked in customer service. I've managed logistics. I've worn many hats. I've done sales. I've done it all in my professional career, and it's really cool to see how like almost every single thing that I've done in my career and in my life, even though it wasn't directly related to what I'm doing now, how the skills that I've used and built can be used to pursue my dreams and hopefully leave a legacy for my kids. And so I think, or hopefully, people will resonate with our values. We're eco-conscious, and we care about community. We don't price gouge. I think we price things rather fairly, but obviously we have constraints from manufacturers and the people we get our products from about what's the minimum pricing, what's the highest pricing, when we can have certain sales on certain products. So all of that, like I'm learning, absorbing all of that, applying it to the business, working with a small business development center at Bradley University to get things going. I looked at the retail space that I have in mind today, and I am in love. So obviously it's going to take time for us to get the brick and mortar open, hopefully, a couple of months. at the soonest, but definitely by the end of the year, we want to be able to welcome people into our space. And there's just unlimited potential of what this could be, but we'll always stay grounded in our values and in our, what our passions are. And we appreciate everybody's support. We're so glad to have you on this journey, and I look forward to giving further updates in the future. Bye-bye.